In this video, we're going to show you how to install the power steering return hose on your Jeep Grand Cherokee located at the power steering pump. Go over to your power steering reservoir right here, locate the cap, turn it to the left, remove it. Now there is going to be power steering fluid on there, hopefully. Wipe that off, set that aside. Now we're going to use an evacuation tool here to remove the fluid from that and put it into an external container. This way here, when we remove the hose, we won't have to worry about fluid running out all over the place. We will have residual fluid coming out, but it shouldn't be anything crazy and it shouldn't be running out constantly. Once you have all of your fluid removed, we can then continue. Go ahead and install your cap. Using a flathead screwdriver, we're going to loosen the band clamp here for our intake tube. Now coming back to the top of our air filter box here, there's going to be some metal clips securing the top to the bottom. There's little tabs on here to secure this. You can pop that with your finger. Ours is a bit rusted, so we're just going to use our flathead screwdriver and just pop these clips off. Once you have all four of those off, go ahead and lift up on the lid, wiggle the hose free, go ahead and set that aside, grab your air filter, pop that out, set that aside. Between the airbox and the driver's side fender, you may have a 10mm bolt securing your airbox base there, but ours is either broken or missing. So at this point, we can go ahead and just grab our airbox, lift it up, rotate it, and pop that out and set that aside. And then we have our intake air tube right here. Just going to pull that out and set that aside. We're going to use our flathead screwdriver. I'm going to come on over to this clamp right here. We're going to loosen this. I'm going to go to the other end of the hose. I'm going to do the same on this hose clamp as well. Now at this point here, we're going to use our hose pliers here. Grab a hold of that and then twist that gently and work that down and off. Now you might have some fluid, residual fluid come out of this here. Like so. I'm going to come to the other side and do the same over there, or just twist that one off by hand. And it's actually stuck on there pretty good. Drain that fluid out of that hose there so it doesn't make a mess taking it out. I'm going to remove the hose and set that aside. Go ahead and take your new hose and we're going to put on the hose clamps we pulled off of the old one. Go ahead and feed this through underneath the gearbox lines. Go ahead and work that up into place. If you have to, you can use your hose pliers there. Twist that up. I'm going to go to the other side and press this hose onto that line. I'm going to go ahead and tighten down our clamps. Now open that up a little bit, squeeze that up on there. Go ahead and snug that down, and then we'll do the same for the other side. We're going to feed our air intake tube in. And once that's in a position, we can go ahead and bring our airbox base down and into place. And what we have to do is attach this onto the airbox base. Pop that in. Now that we have our airbox base locked into place, go ahead and install your air filter. Line that up and press that down and in. Now, if your box here has that 10mm bolt or nut on the spot between the fender, you want to go ahead and install it now. That'll secure the box in place. After you do that, going to set our airbox with the intake tube up here. Wiggle that on, and let's go ahead and get the airbox lid secured. Let's go ahead and install our clamps. Now ours are, like I said, rusted. I'm going to try and secure them with their clamps. Bring our clamp up, fold the little tab down. Once you have this secured, go ahead and tighten down the intake tube using your flathead screwdriver. Now we're going to go ahead and remove our cap. Now this is an actual dipstick. And they actually have measurements on it. It has an add line way down at the very bottom. The next line up is C for cold, and then up here is the H for hot. Now we're going to be filling this up, and it's going to be a cold temperature, so ideally we want to go ahead and just fill it up until the fluid meets that mark there. And this is going to take a few minutes because you're going to do intervals of filling this without overfilling. Take a clean funnel and go ahead and fill using the appropriate power steering fluid for the vehicle. I'm going to go ahead and check that fluid level. And look at that, we are way high. So we were high on the dipstick. What we're going to do is you want to go ahead and fire up the vehicle. You want to go ahead and just let it run for just a few seconds. You want to get that power steering fluid to cycle through those lines and fill everything up as they should be. And then we'll go ahead and double check that level. At this point here, we just ran the vehicle. We are right on. There's our fluid right at the cold mark. Now, for some reason, if you did overfill, just use that vacuum component that you had used before to go ahead and pull that fluid out until you get to the appropriate level. Now, if you happen to take the vehicle for a road test and you do get it warmed up, you want to make sure that that fluid is at that high point or high level on that dipstick. That'll be fine as well. You want to go ahead and adjust that fluid appropriately to make sure that you're at the correct level on that for the proper operation of that steering system.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.